Edwin, I can't believe he didn't show up for our wedding. Edwin, please pick up. I need answers. Why didn't you show up for our wedding?
Ivie's life had always moved fast. Too fast, sometimes. While other people struggled for tiny opportunities, doors opened for her like she carried a golden key. Before most of her classmates got their first internships, Ivie already had a full-time job. A few months later, she got promoted. Money came easily. She moved into a well-serviced apartment. Bought her first car before age 26. Everything she touched worked, except one thing, the part of her life she wanted to settle. Refused to settle. For 7 long years, relationships scattered like broken pieces. Proposals cancelled. Promises turned to excuses. Her friends got married. Her younger sister got married. Her cousins married. Even girls she used to tutor in school married. Every wedding she attended made her smile outside and ache inside. She would clap, dance, pose for pictures, but inside she whispered, "God, when will it be my turn?" People had opinions. Too picky. Too independent. Mistiming. Her standards were too high. Her expectations were unrealistic. She pretended she didn't care. But she did. More than she let anyone know. Then everything changed the day she met Edwin. He wasn't her type at first. He wasn't loud. He wasn't flashy. He wasn't trying to impress her. They met at a friend's launching event. He made one dry joke that somehow made her laugh. He offered her a drink. They talked for hours. For the first time in years, Ivie felt calm. Seen. Chosen. And Edwin didn't waste time. He called. He checked up on her. Surprised her with flowers at work. He remembered the little things. He made her feel safe. After months of dating, he started talking about marriage. And that was when Ivie received the biggest email of her life. A top company abroad offered her a life-changing job, high salary, staff housing, visa support. Everything she prayed for. It was the breakthrough she had fasted, cried, and begged for. But accepting the job meant relocating. And relocating meant leaving Edwin. Edwin didn't hide how he felt. He told her, "I don't want to lose you. Long distance ruins relationships. If you go, we might not survive it." Ivie froze. Her dream job on one hand. Her dream man on the other. Everyone she talked to had an opinion. Some said, "Love is rare, choose the man." Others said, "Opportunities like this don't come twice." For weeks she was torn. In the end, she chose love. So, Ivie turned down the job interview and chose to focus on her relationship with Edwin. For a while, everything seemed like a fairy tale. He was the perfect partner, attentive, kind, and always there for her. It felt like she had made the right choice. They went ahead and planned the entire wedding. Ivie thought everything was finally falling into place. Edwin was still as sweet as ever, and he never hinted at any problem. On the day of the wedding, Ivie got dressed up, her family gathered, guests arrived, and everything seemed perfect, until Edwin simply didn't show up. She waited, embarrassed and confused. Ivie was left standing there in her dress, surrounded by confused family and murmuring guests. Her heart pounded with humiliation. She made excuses to people, trying to hold back tears, telling them maybe he was caught in traffic or there had been a misunderstanding. But deep down, she knew something was terribly wrong. After a few painful hours, she left the venue in a daze, went home, and sat in silence, trying to piece together how everything had fallen apart. She called his phone repeatedly, no answer. She texted, begged for an explanation, but it was like he'd vanished. A few days later, as she was scrolling through social media, a post popped up on her feed that made her heart drop. A friend had tagged her in a photo, asking, "Isn't this the guy you were supposed to marry?" There was Edwin, smiling in a family photo with a woman and 2 children, looking like the perfect husband and father. Ivie's friend even messaged her privately, saying she had seen Edwin's wife posting about their anniversary. It was all out in the open, just not in Ivie's world until now. She felt a wave of shock, anger, and betrayal. The man she had trusted, the man she had chosen over her career, had led a double life. That public humiliation and the realization that she'd been deceived made her determined to never ignore her own dreams again. A few months later, when her heart was still healing, the company abroad emailed her again. "We reopened the role due to expansion. We reviewed your interview again. We would love to have you on our team." She cried. This time tears of gratitude. She accepted immediately. Resigned. Sold most of her belongings. Packed her bags. Everyone celebrated with her. Her flight was scheduled for 8:45 p.m. At the airport she was excited, nervous, ready for a new life. Check-in smooth. Security smooth. Everything perfect. Then that strange, heavy anxiety hit her chest. The voice announced, "Flight 7C-204 has been delayed. 30 minutes. Then 1 hour. Then 2. Then 3. Confusion everywhere. People shouting. Families crying. Passengers demanding answers. By midnight, Ivie sat alone, shaking. She had sacrificed everything for this moment. Why was life embarrassing her again? At 1:12 a.m. an official announced, "Flight 7C-204 has been cancelled." Some screamed. Some cursed. Some begged. Ivie didn't move. A cold fear sat in her stomach. She went home exhausted and cried until morning. And then, she saw the news. A sister flight from the same airline, same aircraft model, same route, same destination, crashed into the ocean. No survivors. The crash happened at the exact time her own flight should have been in the air. Her phone fell from her hands. Her whole body trembled. She realized instantly. If her flight didn't delay, she would have died. The delays, the embarrassment, the stress, were not punishment. They were protection. She remembered the men she almost married, who later showed their true colors. She remembered the companies she begged to join, companies that later collapsed. She remembered an apartment she almost rented, that caught fire. And she remembered Edwin, the man she once thought was her last chance. The man she chose over her destiny. The man whose rejection saved her life. One by one, all her disappointments began to make sense. 3 months later, a better job came. Better pay. Better environment. Less stress. Closer to her purpose. No fear. And this time, she moved quietly. No announcements. No rush. No trying to prove anything to the world. She had learned something life-changing. Sometimes God protects you by slowing you down. Sometimes the delay is the blessing. Sometimes the disappointment is the rescue. When Ivie finally traveled months later, she looked out of the airplane window and whispered, "Thank you for every delay that saved me. Even the ones that broke my heart."
And that is the end of my story. If you find this story interesting, and now you want to get more of our stories, please click on the subscribe and turn on the bell icon to get notified immediately we upload new stories. Bye-bye.